What up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. It is your boy Baddog here. The New York Giants video. As always, appreciate you taking time to click on the video. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. It helps if you hit the thumbs up. It just does. Hit that new hype button again. I don't know what it does, but it can't hurt. So hit the hype button. And if you like the content, hey, consider subscribing. Tons of Giants content, lots of Giants rants, lots of Giants stuff to talk about on this channel. Always appreciate you tuning in. And the time has come. As the Chambers brothers once said, the time has come today. And it has come. Happy Rosh Hashanah to those who celebrate that. But yes, the time has come. The New York Giants and Brian Dable have announced it will be Jackson Dart to start week 4 against the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, obviously, this is going to get a little bit of excitement back into the fan base, a fan base which is totally downtrodden right now. And with good reason. Not only are they 0-3 this year, when I criticize the Giants, they'll say it's only been 2 games, bad dog. No, it's been years and years and years of really bad football here, to the point if you're looking at Twitter and social media, man, it's just amazing how the media is going after the fan base and vice versa. And you even see guys like LPG, who's like the biggest Giants fan known to man, on social media saying he's, will sell his season tickets. I mean, the Giants are just a terrible team. There's no question about it. They're bad, and they've been bad. This is nothing new. They've been the worst team in football for the last 8 years, and they're the worst team in football again in one of them. So maybe Jackson Dart does give them a little injection of life. It certainly is going to rejuvenate the fan base. I agree with what Darius Slayton said. If he gets off to a slow start, we can't kill the guy. I mean, rookies usually do get off to a slow start, so let's give him a little bit of time. I've run thin of patience with Dable and Shane and everybody else, which with good reason. They've had 4 years to get it together. But Dart's just getting his first start. Let's not kill the guy immediately. He's going to make some mistakes. The NFL is not college football, so the game moves a lot faster. The defenses are much more complex. Windows in the NFL close much quicker than they do at the collegiate level. And again, the best college teams might have 3 NFL players on them. The worst NFL teams have 11 defensive, 11 NFL players on them. So Jackson Dart, obviously, this is not a move the Giants wanted to make this early, but Brian Dable's job is on the line. And as I've said many a times, if you're going to strike out, you got to go down swinging. You certainly can't go down looking with the shoulder on your bat and never taking your swing. So they feel like it's time to take the swing. This is Brian Dable's last chance. This is Brian Dable's last lifeline. This is Brian Dable's last body to throw in front of the bus. We already knew Russ coming in here was a 1-year thing. I would have hoped Russ would have got a longer leash, meaning he would have been playing well and the Giants would have won some games. Russ played really well against a really bad defense. We ended up losing the other 2 games. Well, Russ didn't really look so good, if we're being completely honest. I love Russell Wilson. I'll always be a Russell Wilson fan. I hate that this happened to him this early in the year. Now that you've made that move to Jackson Dart, you cannot go back. Now that you've given birth, you can't put him back in the birth canal. This is it. He's going to face the Chargers and the Saints, and then you're going Philly at Denver, Philly. You're in it. He's in it. They threw him right into the fire. Can't pull him out at this point. Trade Russell Wilson. He's not here to be a backup. Cincinnati really needs quarterback. And I jokingly said on Twitter, give us a 2nd-round pick. Get us a 6th-round pick. Joe Burrow's out for 3 months. Russell Wilson's definitely a competent professional. He can do the job. Cincinnati's a much more talented team than we are. Let him have an opportunity. Don't hold him hostage here. Don't make him hold a clipboard for the rest of the year. Russ would do it because Russ is a consummate professional. And if that's what they asked him to do, he would do it. But that's not right to him. Let him go. You brought Jameis Winston in here to be the backup. Now it's time. Trade Russ. Get some kind of compensation. Any kind of compensation. You start Dart. You use Jameis as your backup and you open up a roster spot. I mean, it is what it is. That's what they should do. But this is it. Brian Dable he had Russell Wilson as that last body. And now that the Giants have been trucked over and run over for the first 3 games and they've looked bad and everybody's down on them and it's another here we go again moment and they don't look competitive and the offense is struggling and the defense isn't really good. It ain't bad. It's not good enough to win games. Brian Dable said, all right, Russ, here you go. Here comes that bus. And that slows the bus down for this much. And now Brian Dable is tied at the hip to Jackson Dart. So that bus, if it don't stop, is running them both over. This is it for Brian Dable. If Jackson Dart comes in and he's not good and he looks really bad and he struggles and we continue to lose games, Dable's going, Shane's going, Dart's going. You're probably looking at a top 5 pick. You're probably looking at Drew Aller or Garrett Nussmeier or one of these quarterbacks because a new GM ain't going to sit there and take on a quarterback that he had no part in. That's what's going to happen. And it's unfortunate that we've come to this situation again because we've had 4 years of Shane and Dable after having 4 years of Gettleman. Gettleman didn't work, fired coaches, fired offensive coordinators, changed quarterbacks, did this, did that. Team sucked for 4 freaking years, got rid of them all, brought in these guys, did win a playoff game, which was nice, but that's in the distant memory. Nobody remembers Brian Dable winning a playoff game now because Brian Dable won 9 games his first year and won Coach of the Year in 2022. He's won 9 games since. Nobody remembers that. It's a what have you done for me lately league. So if this shit don't work out, guess what? We're going to throw them all under the bus. And we're going to rinse and we're going to repeat. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to bring in a new GM. We're going to bring in a new coach. We're going to bring in new coordinators. We're going to bring in a new quarterback. And we start the rebuild all over again. That is why this vicious cycle of being a Giants fan right now is so mentally exhausting. It is tough to be one of them content guys, as a radio announcer called us, one of them content guys. It's hard to be one of them content guys right now. It's just hard to be a fan in general. It just is. It is a very tough thing to be a Giants fan right now. And as I've said before, man, it is exhausting, especially being one of them content guys, being on Twitter, being on YouTube. It gets tiring. The fan base is pissed off. Like I said, they go at one another. They're going at players. They're going at the media. Players going back at the fans. It's disgusting what this organization is right now. And everybody's at their boiling point. And that's what happens when you play really bad football. It just is what it is. But this vicious cycle, it just continues until somebody has to get it right at some point. I hope like hell Jackson Dart is everything Brian Dable thinks he is. I hope that he plays really well. I hope that we win some damn football games. This is exactly what I want. I don't want people, I always like that people enjoying my rants. I like that people are like, bro, you nailed it. Bro, I love your rants. Bro, you're saying what I feel. I love your rants. It sucks that the Giants lose, but the one thing that gets me through it is you're ranting about the Giants. And of course, I like that my videos can bring joy or I can make somebody laugh or that's just cathartic for them. It's certainly cathartic for me because I'm frustrated as a Giants fan. But I don't want to make those videos. I want to win. I want to make happy videos. I want to talk good about my team. I want to say nice things about my coaches and my coordinators, my GM and my quarterback and my line and my receivers and my defense. I want to say good things about them. I don't want to have to run them down all the time. But let's face it, man. People can say you're negative when you're saying bad things about them. Man, this team sucks. There's nothing positive to say. What do you want? Yay, you got a sack. I mean, come on, man. Win. I guarantee you, winning changes everything. Winning builds culture. I said it in 22, hashtag WBC, winning builds culture. All let's talk about culture in the locker room, culture, this culture, that winning builds that stuff. Winning builds that stuff. Nobody buys season tickets. Nobody spends hundreds and thousands of dollars to go to a Giants game, to buy the tickets, to sit in the traffic, to pay the tolls like I have to pay the tolls because I live a long ways from the stadium, to fill up your tank with gasoline, pay for the parking, to pay for all that stuff, to take all the time out of your day. It's a full day for me traveling 3 hours down there, waiting in the game, traveling 3 hours back, in all that stuff. Okay. Nobody goes through that process and says, God, I hope they suck so I can boo them. No Giants fan buys tickets to say, God, I hope they're terrible this year so I can just lay into them. No fan really wants that. Nobody wants that. They buy the tickets, they buy the merchandise, they do all this stuff because they want to cheer. But when the team doesn't give them anything to cheer about, and you sit there and you think of all the time you've invested and all the money you've put into it. And yeah, you don't have to, but that's what fans do. Because let's face it, Without the fans, there is no football team. It's just that simple. It really is. It is. There's with no fan base, no revenue, no players, no team. That's that simple. So the fans have a right to be aggravated. The fans have a right to be pissed off. The fans have a right to voice their displeasure when they're a bad team. If we were 11-6 one year, 10-7, 12-5, and we got off to an 0-3 start and people were down on them like the fan base is right now, then you could say, well, I mean, come on, man, we're just off to a bad start. We've been a good football team, blah, blah, blah. But when you've seen this performance, I think 7 of the last 10 years, the Giants have started 0-3. And again, they have the worst record in football since 2017, man. It's different. It's here we go again. Here's another lost season. Jackson Dart's the only thing left. That is Brian Dable's last lifeline. He is it. He is the flotation device. If that thing goes down, Brian Dable is going down with it, as is Joe Shane. And once that's done, like I said, it's going to be rinse, repeat. All I can hope for is that Jackson Dart is really good and the Giants win some football games. If the Giants are 0-3 right now, I figure if they finish the season 5-12, which is not what anybody wanted, but if you finish the season 5-12, which would be you'd be 5-9 with Jackson Dart, and you're playing a very tough schedule, you win some of these games, you find a way to maybe beat Dallas this time or beat Washington or somehow beat the Packers or whatever. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you beat one of these teams you're not supposed to beat. Okay, somehow you beat Philly. Philly's not looking great right now. Of course, everybody gets right against Giants, but I digress. You find a way to win a couple games you shouldn't. You find a way to be competitive in these games. And he plays well, and you're 5-9 over your last 14, then you probably get another year. If the Giants look like they're trending upwards and they can win a few games, but they don't go to the postseason, but you see your rookie quarterbacks developed, well, and he's playing at a high level, and you think you got your future, then they're going to save their job. But this is way earlier than expected. A lot of us, including myself, thought maybe the bye would be a good time to get him in the game. You would hope the Giants were competitive, maybe 5-4 like they were when they replaced Kurt Warner with Eli Manning. And you say, okay, this team's good enough. Let's see what Jackson Dart can do with it at this point. But this is way earlier than expected because it's an absolute desperation move. This isn't, Jackson Dart's going to save the franchise. And the reason we're losing games is because the offense can't score. That's part of it. But the defense can't get stops. We commit penalties. We turn the ball over. We don't get turnovers on defense. We gave up 40 points to Dallas. We give up 200 yards on the ground every week. I mean, it's not just the quarterback play. But if this somehow injects some life into the team and they find ways to win games, Dable's going to be okay. And that's it. He knows it. This is it. This is it for him. This is the last shot. Jackson Dart works, Brian Dable safe. Jackson Dart don't work, Brian Dable struck out swinging. That's the way it is. Anyway, I appreciate you guys, girls, watching. You made it this far. I appreciate all the support. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell. Giants Collective at 7 o'clock tonight. See you then. Bad Diggity Dizzle, and I'm out. Peace.